Good morning, everyone. It is Lori, the Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is 10 o'clock on Thursday. So it is time for coffee and cards. You know the routine. If you're here, give me a shout out, a like, or a love. Let me know you're with us. And I'm hoping my camera does a little better there. It's a little blurry, at least on my end. Tell me if it's blurry on your end, Valerie. I have had all kinds of issues this morning already, so. Phew. I'm going to share this over on the VIP page while you are logging in. It presents me every other group that I'm part of except my own. I don't understand that. See lots of you coming on. That's awesome. All right. We had a power outage here last night. It wasn't long, but it was enough that it just really messed everything up. Yeah, it's blurry. Oh, it looks fine. Okay, good. Then it's just my screen. That's fine. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Carol. Hey, Valerie. Thanks for checking on that for me. Hi, Jeannie. Thank you for sharing, Carol. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Okay. Well, good. The comments aren't blurry. Just the video blurry to me. But if it's good for you guys, then that's what matters. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so we had some wicked storms, nothing like you guys north and south of us have had, but we did have a power blip last night. Good morning, Donna. Happy belated birthday. I didn't know it was your birthday yesterday when I talked to you 2 days ago. Thank you for sharing, Sharon. I appreciate that. I hope you had a good day, Donna. Okay. Well, I can't believe it is September 9th already. I don't know where time goes, but it goes. I'm going to turn my phone off too, because I've had some crazy things happening here with that this morning. Hi, Emmy. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming back. Oh, and thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Okay, so just a reminder, I have laying here, this is this month's Just Cards that you earn the card kits with everything. Good morning, Linda. With everything already embossed, cut, die cut, if appropriate. All the embellishments are included, the ribbons, etc. Images are die cut for you, so that the only thing you need to do is provide greetings. And every one of these cards this month, that is all you need are some greetings. Everything else is either designer paper or die cuts. So that is fun because you can make them whatever, maybe not the Christmas one, you can't really change its intention, but you can make, if you want a thinking of you, you can make it a thinking of you. Anniversary, my mom's been looking for anniversary cards. She can make any of these anniversary cards that she would like. And it's free with a minimum $25 order on my $25 product order, right? On my September hostess code. Right here, addictedstamper.stampinup.net. Those orders are due in by September 30th, and then I usually have the kits ready for mailing, if I'm mailing long distance, by the end of the first week of the following month. There might just be a little delay because our 25th wedding anniversary is October 5th, and I have no idea what we're doing, if we're doing anything. So if not, I'll be cutting cardstock, but I think we are. I might not be here to cut cardstock. So anyway, those are good ones. And the reason the greetings aren't included, the reason the stamping isn't done for you is because it violates Stampin' Up policy. So in order for me to remain compliant with our policies and not lose my demonstratorship, which would make me very sad, you have to supply the stamps and the ink, but everything else, and your adhesive, of course, all the embellishments, etc., are included in there. All right, today I thought we would play with And we used this once so far, I think, in one of our lives. Was a Come Stamp Along With Me Sunday night. This Bright Baubles stamp set and dies. So this is one that I saw in the catalog and didn't think twice about it. It's cute, but you know, we had ornaments for a couple of years in a row with punches, and I was kind of over the ornament thing until I saw someone have a beautiful die cut Merry Christmas, pretty script, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, now where is that in the catalog? Because apparently I have missed it. I bet I went through the catalog 3 times till I found it in these dies. So right here it is. And you will see it on one of the cards I'm going to show you this morning. But it is in, and I'm sure it's hard to see on camera, it is in, trying to find something dark that I can lay behind it. Maybe that, now maybe you can see it there. It's Merry and Bright, not Merry Christmas, Merry and Bright. Beautiful script. It's inside of this ornament and they just simply snipped it out. So I'm going to show you that. The other thing that we are playing with these dies this morning are a bunch of the different specialty papers that we're currently offering. So we are going to use some white velvet, and we are going to use some Shimmer Vellum and red and green foils and all of that to make some fun, quick Christmas cards. Okay, so let us get started. Let me get this off my wrist and we will get started. So the first part I did is I used the snowflake ornament, right? And I blinged it up. I've got lots of bling going on around here and in the center as well. And then I used the 'Tis the Season, and that is from the Christmas to Remember. This is a great stamp set. This is the one that bundles with the, I think it's the pine cone dies that has the beautiful background with it. So lots of great greetings in there. I actually, and I'm hoping you can kind of see it on camera, actually embossed the velvet. This is so soft, you should feel it. I wish we had field vision. And I used a little bit of our silver foil, which is new in the mini catalog. We have a package, I think it's $10, and there's 3 versions of silver foil. There's the shiny silver that you expect. There's more of a matte silver. And then there's a really dark, almost a steel, a gray steel silver. So it's very pretty. So we're going to do this one. We're using the Wintry embossing folder, the one that's the snowflakes. This is a double set. It's a mini, so it will fit through the mini embossing machine for you. And it comes with the snowflake, and it also comes with one that has pine for the background. So it is a lot of fun. And I've got some of the holiday rhinestones here, as well as the blue adhesive back gems. That's what we're going to bling up our snowflake with. Night of Navy is, of course, our color that we're using. And pull these things in. Yes, Christmas Pine Cones is the one that Christmas to Remember partners with. I'm glad you guys like it. That's awesome. Okay, so Night of Navy is our card base. That's going to be our inside piece. I'm just going to tuck that in there for the moment. And then here is the velvet, and I know you can't feel it, and it probably looks just like basic white to you, but it really is pretty. I did go ahead and die cut the little bow on the hanger. That is also in the Delicate Baubles die set. Okay, so you have that fun little bow that we're going to use. I'm going to lay that right there for the moment. I have a strip of the silver foil that we're going to just add as a little accent behind the embossed. So this one I already did the embossing on, and we're just going to add that silver right behind there. So let me take the Wintry folder. We're going to emboss this through our machine. And you know that I have my die cutting and embossing machine sitting beside me because you see my table, where would I put it, right? There's no room for it on the actual table. And it shakes the camera something fierce when I do it on the table. So we're going to put this down on the back. Oftentimes, it's just the little accents and embellishments that takes a card from nice to, oh, wow, right? Did anybody check out my YouTube video this week? I know Valerie did because she left me a comment. Thank you for that. That helps me grow over there too. So comments and thumbs up and all that. Sharing, you can even share it with your friends. All helps. So I'm going to trim this. I purposely left it a little longer because sometimes you just never know if your measurement is precise. And then I'm just going to mount this down here. So the fact that it was a mini and it didn't emboss the whole piece doesn't matter because we're actually covering a portion of that up. All right, so there is the base of our card front. I did go ahead and cut the open ornament out that our snowflake is going to reside on. So then I'm going to take the detailed portion, put that on the velvet, and run that through the die cutting system. So this works just like regular paper. You don't have to do anything special. If you have a really detailed die, it might be good to put a shim under it. You watched the penguin card video? Okay. You're following me on YouTube. Thank you, Emmy. I appreciate that. That's great. I will take it. I think I'm a little over 600 subscribers right now, and I really am trying very hard to get to 1,000 because once I'm at 1,000, I can actually go live on YouTube. So I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Yeah, the penguin card was really cute. The one I did this week is called a magic slider card, and it went up on Monday. So you'll have to check that out. And I am going to run that forwards and backwards because there is some detail in it. My cat is chewing on everything. So if you hear weird noises, sorry, Carol. As I tell my ladies that come and stamp with me in person, it's kind of a job to convince you that you need these things. Yes, it is really pretty. You can emboss it. You can die cut it, as I just did right there. You can even stamp on it. It becomes much lighter. Your color is much lighter. So you want to make sure that you're using rich, deep jewel tones or black when you try to stamp it. But you can stamp on it. I would recommend trying it on a piece of scrap paper or scrap velvet first. Like if you have, even one of those little pieces that fell out of here, I could just stamp to see what it would look like, right? That way you know if you're going to like the effect. So you could put adhesive sheet on the back of this. I didn't. Whenever I'm trying to get something aligned, I tend not to do it because with the adhesive sheet, you have like maybe one chance, right, to get it lined up perfectly the way you want it. So I'm just putting a little bit of Tombow in certain spots. Get a little bit there in the center and on some of these arms, especially the ones that aren't attached to the frame. And then just a couple spots around. And I say a couple spots because even though I kind of walked the nozzle the whole way around, it didn't hit it. It didn't hit at every spot. But this way I have the opportunity, if I need it, to slide it. If I put this on with adhesive sheet and I don't get it lined up perfectly the first time, I'm kind of stuck with it. Hey, Betty, thank you. Oh, good. Yeah, I love snowflakes too. Snowflakes, snowmen, the whole 9 yards. But only as collectibles and cards, not in person. I'm not a big snow fan. My husband and I keep talking about when the time is right, where can we move to that we can avoid snow in the future? And I'm also going to, I thought I did put adhesive sheet on this, but it doesn't look like I did. So let me just grab that Tombow again. I would not use the silicone pad and the sponge trick with the velvet paper. And the reason I say that is because you could end up getting some glue on the front of your velvet, and then it's not going to be very pretty. So I would just kind of go with your Tombow nozzle, if you will, to get this to work for you. All right, so let's do this quick. Just put some seal on there. Pretty, right? And we're going to trim that off, that extra tail of the bauble hanger, if you will. There we go. This is going to get mounted right on our Night of Navy. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Okay, I did go ahead and stamp the "'Tis the Season" so I could just snip it out ahead of time. And that's all I did. I just used my scissors and kind of cut it out to make an even border. This I'm going to pop up on some mini dimensionals. So most of the time I can't find my big dimensionals. And now it appears I have used up all the mini dimensionals. So let's use some. Oh, there's a couple on here, and I only need a couple. I'll just snip a piece. I had a relatively new stamper here Tuesday. I had classes, and she handed me this, only it was the big dimensional. She handed me the outline, the bones, if you will, and to put in the trash. I said, "Oh, no, don't throw that away." She goes, "Well, there's nothing left on it." I'm like, "Oh no, there really is." You've got lots of dimensional ability left there. So hopefully you all know that, but just in case you don't, you can absolutely use all of this, right? You do not throw this away. So, okay, so there is the card front, except minus the bling. Let me get the greeting in here, and then we will do the bling. And that says, "May this be a Christmas to remember and cherish." And actually, I was trying to think of something to put on the inside, and you could put a little snow. If you have a tiny little snowman, it would go with the snowflake, or just a little snowflake from one of the snowflake sets on the inside of the card, and then also on your envelope, right? I always like to decorate the envelopes when I think of it. Oftentimes I'm in a dress and get out the door mode, so sometimes it doesn't happen. So I did use the adhesive back gems. I think I used I used one of the light blue large ones. Okay, for the center. Just brings that together beautifully. And you could absolutely stop there. But then I moved over to the small aqua. I don't know what color this is supposed to be on the holiday gems. If somebody does, please tell me. It might have been Seaside Sprite. We carried a lot of embellishments over that had, and designer paper patterns that had the retiring ink colors in it. So, but I love the holiday gemstones, and I think they are such an economical purchase because you get so many different colors. And I'm just putting them in the ones that have the little diamond shapes on the end, just to get it a little bling. And there we go. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you like it. Wood double-sided. What does that mean, Carol, with double-sided? I'm not sure. Maybe you're asking if the adhesive is already built on the velvet sheets like it is on the linen sheets. Because that's pretty cool. If you didn't know that, the linen sheets already have adhesive on the back of them. So that's really cool. Hi, Jeannie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Okay. So that is project number 1 with our baubles. Pretty simple, right? Oh, that was a mistake. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. I really like it. And I love that little bow. I can see using that on other projects, not just the baubles. Project number 1. Remember to like, love, comment, and share. Share the video for me. And you will be entered into the drawing for the cards that I'm creating today. This is our next one. So we are going to play with some gold shimmer, some gold foil, and some of our green foil, which I love the red and green foil for Christmas. And we're going to do a little doctoring on our pieces. So let's get started on that one. I'm also using the new Merry Melody embossing folder on this. This is a lot of fun. I am finding that some people are not musicians, so they don't know which way to turn the music. Hey, Pat. And then I've got some of the beautiful gold shimmer ribbon that I believe is on back order right now. And we're using, I haven't used these colors for Christmas this year yet because not too many of our designer papers. I think the one that goes with trimmings and tidings has cherry cobbler in it. So I'm using shaded spruce, which I love. Yes, I agree, Carol. We have a few too many Scrooges around sometimes, don't we? But shaded spruce, cherry cobbler, and very vanilla. And you guys know I am not a very vanilla girl, only usually at fall, but I thought it went really nice with the gold. And then I have the Simply Elegant Trim Baker's Twine. All right, and then this is the Shimmer Vellum. Let's see. I don't know if the shimmer shows up on camera. Maybe if I back it. But it's just like all of the in color shimmer that we have, and it is absolutely beautiful. I did go ahead and cut 2, one in the gold and one in the green foil, so that I can simply just trim this out for you. Because pretty much, and if you ever need me to show you how to do something while we're live together, please let me know. I assume that everybody pretty much knows how to do the die cutting, but if I am wrong, I am more than happy to do that, to share how you do that with you. So we're going to do a layer of cherry cobbler. We're going to emboss in the Merry Melody. This is a 3D folder. I just don't have my blue dot on there yet. And we are going to take our open ornament die and cut that from the Shimmer Vellum. So this is the detail, and then this is the open one for the one we're using. So let me do that. I'm scraping off all the pieces that were left over from the velvet on my cutting pad. So there is our beautiful ornament. And this one I can tell. This one does have the adhesive sheet on the back. This one does too, so we're going to be brave. We're going to try it, because I actually didn't intend to put it on the back of this, but I had a whole bunch of foils laying on my table. I was putting adhesive sheets on, and it just kind of got in the mix. So the trick to die cutting this, right, is our goal is to leave just the slight border so that it's equal on the green portion. And also on the star here at the top, I want to leave the edges of the star intact on the gold, which means on here, I'm going to line up my scissors so that I'm leaving just that border of the star on this one as well. That way I'm only getting the top of the tree. See how that came out? Okay. Then the rest of it's pretty easy, right? We're just going to nip along the edges. But this, I think, opens up your die to a lot more versatility. Here too, I'm going to leave the gold outline intact. So therefore I'm going to leave the green outline intact as I'm nipping. Nipping, is that a word? Did I just make that up? Snipping maybe would be better. I'm not sure. And then here, I'm just going to come down. I'm going to come back and do this side. And it's usually much easier to cut from the opposite side, but we're going to give this a shot. See how we do. Oh, still attached. There we go. So he just falls out like that. And then you have this piece left in place. And you could actually use this as an outline over a greeting. Right? Something like that. Jingle all the way, have a holly jolly Christmas, the most wonderful time. That would be cute. The most wonderful time. So if you trim it out and you leave this piece intact, you have options that you can play with this, right? So you can get 2 cards from 1 die cut, which is always advantageous in my mind. All right, so now the question is, do I try to do this with the adhesive sheet or with the Tombow? How brave am I feeling this morning, right? And truthfully, I'm not feeling that brave. So I'm going to go back to my Tombow. I still want to be really careful with the Tombow on the foil. The reason for that is if you do get the if you do slide it around too much and you get the Tombow onto the gold foil and then shift the green so that the gold underneath it is showing, you're going to have a smudge on your foil. And if someone, the only thing that I know that can help with that, and it's not always perfect, but it does help remove that if that ever happens to you, is the color lifter from the blends. You don't want to go over it a lot because it has alcohol in it, so it will dull the finish. But if you can just take a little bit of it over where the glue is smudged, if you will, you can sometimes get it to lift off. So there's a little tip for you. But again, try to do it, just once, go across it just once maybe, because otherwise you start to take the shiny finish off the foil. And that's the alcohol in the blend. See, that was much easier for me anyway, to get that tree to line up perfectly than it would have been if I'd have had the adhesive sheet on it. So you can see the ornament stays intact. Even this star up here at the top, I wanted it to remain intact. So I had to bring that tree off the green ornament at a point. Okay. And then this is going to go onto our base. So this does have adhesive sheet on it. So we're going to pull this. You got to walk it with your fingers because this is delicate, right? You've got all these delicate die cut images or pieces. So we just want to make sure we're going real gentle and that we get that off of there. And then I start at the bottom. It's not too bad. So you can see the adhesive sheet makes it a lot easier. But again, I wanted that ability to shift, and I did need it. I did shift it. I don't know if you could tell that on screen or not. All right, let me run this through the embossing folder. Make sure I have the right piece because we have a piece for the inside as well. Grab the 3D plate. Okay, so we have we are going to take our take your pick tool, and we are going to take a piercing mat. We're just going to put a hole. Now I could use the piece that comes in the die set. There's a piece that cuts the ornament section out so that you can put cording or ribbon or whatever you want through it. I didn't really want that big of a hole, so I just used my take your pick tool, pierced a little hole there. I'm going to take my gold Simply Elegant trim, and I'm just going to thread it through. I'm not going to tie a knot because that would just give me bulk on the back. But what I am going to do, this is not, is it on? Yes, I used dimensionals underneath the stars. I thought I had. It's great to be ahead because I get to breathe a little bit with my designing, but then I forget what I did. Does anybody else do that? Let me grab mini dimensionals because that will work much better. Since I seem to be out, they'll fit right behind there. We're going to put that on our card front with the mini dimensionals because they will be hidden behind these sections, and we don't need a ton of them on there to hold it in place. So one right there. Glue dots, especially if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, glue dots, those glue dots seem to not be visible between vellum and your card base. I don't have my lines drawn, so I can't tell which ones I took it off of and which ones I didn't. All right, so do I have this? Yes, I think I do. So we're going to put this right here. And I'm not going to press down until I'm sure I have it where I want it. And that looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to bring these tails over on the back and use our seal to adhere them. So we'll bring them back like this. I'm going to trim those off just a little bit. And then this is really important to run your seal down over to make sure they stay where you want them. Okay. We are going to take the shimmer ribbon. Hey, Ashley. Oh, thank you. We're going to take the shimmer ribbon down here. So we need to put a little bit more adhesive on the back. Am I out? I'm out. Okay, who's surprised? It's like a standard with Lori. If you're watching her live, she's going to run out of seal. But that's why I moved all the extras behind me now. I didn't check. Always check your nose when you change your seal because you do build up adhesive balls on there. So that's a good time to kind of clean it out. Get it started. And let's do this. Drop it down just a little bit. Don't need a lot of room from the bottom because our greeting is skinny. We'll cover our tails here too. And then this is going to go on our cherry cobbler layer. and then onto our card front. This one appears to be extra sticky. It's sticking to me. Okay. Let's get some of this. Let's find my tabletop. What do you say? It seems to have vanished on me. And I did the greeting in advance. And I kept that simple because I really want the foiled tree to be the star of the show. We are going to put it on with dimensionals, however. And now I'm back to the large ones because this can handle the large ones. And I don't really have the option to put above and below, like at the top edge and the bottom edge here, because usually I try to straddle the ribbon with my greetings. But I'm hoping that the large dimensionals will grab just a little bit of the card front itself rather than all just the ribbon, attaching just to the ribbon. So again, I'm bringing back in those holiday rhinestones, which I adore. And I am going to put some of this green is perfect on here. Okay, and there is our card front complete. I'm going to use Holly Jolly Wishes. We Wish You a Merry Christmas seem to be perfect for this. And it is not in there. Well, that's what I put on the inside, guys, but I'm not sure what happened to that stamp. It's always unpleasant when you open your case and your stamp's not there. So that's what I would put in, and I would do it in the cherry cobbler. I'm going to lay that in there so that I can do that when I find the stamp. But we wish you a Merry Christmas. So be merry. We wish you a Merry Christmas with the music background. It all just seemed to tie the card together. So there's project number 2 with the baubles. What do you think of the baubles so far? Are you liking them? Got one more for you. You love them? Good, 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 good. Yeah, like I said, I was not going to get them. And now they're part of my arsenal. All right, so I had to go back and play with this beautiful hybrid embossing folder, right? And then here you go. This is that beautiful font. Look how pretty that Merry and Bright is. I had to do it. When I saw that on that card and tracked it down into the baubles, that's what sold me on it. I'm also using the timber embossing folder on the rectangle that I cut out and on the background here. It just went perfectly with the greeneries. Oh, thanks, Donna. And I was recording next week's YouTube before we came on and used the timber folder in that one as well. So I already did the hybrid. Now, if somebody doesn't know how to do this with the hybrid embossing, I'm happy to show you. I think I have something laying here I can do that with, maybe. Anybody want me to show you that again? Give me a thumbs up, and I'll check before I get off here. And if you do, I'll show you how to do it. But I did go ahead and do all the embossing and die cutting for our greenery. I'm going to emboss the larger piece of basic white. So the basic white on the front is done at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 to give this full piece a backing, right? Because this is a large piece for your card front. I'm going to run that through. And I also have to run through the little square that I did. And that rectangle comes out of the coordinating Various Moments die set for the inside of our piece. So this one is quick as well. This is just 5.5 by 8.5 layer of real red. That over it. Then we're just going to mount that timber embossed piece of basic white. I'm just going to put my adhesive right in the solid rectangle on our die cut, rather than trying to add adhesive. I think I like it that way. Oh, but I see a couple pieces I didn't. And you can see they just fell out by me running my thumbnail over them. Always check your dies before you mount them. Even though you think you got everything out, you might just find some little piece was left behind. But I am so impressed with this die because it really does just fall out, as you can see. So I'm not having to take my take your pick tool or my die brush or anything over it, which is always a bonus too. Okay. So you can see this goes together really quickly, and then we're just going to trim out like we did with the tree. We're just going to trim the Merry and Bright out of that ornament. So while it gives you 4 separate ornaments in the kit, in the bundle, you really end up with quite a lot more when you cut them and pair them, etc. So I did do a lot of the punching on this. Now I did put the adhesive sheet on the back of this, and I can tell you that when you do that, it's a little more difficult because this is such a detailed die. So make sure you run it through multiple times if you're putting your adhesive sheet on the back. And we're going to trim this out before we take that off. That makes a whole lot more sense. This one's a little more involved to trim, because now I'm really, on this one, I'm not worried about saving the outline, although I might be able to use pieces of it for something else. I'm truly more worried about saving the script and having the script be as clean as it can be, right? So I'm trying to make sure that my scissors are following the line of the script. The line, the width, etc. And if you end up with a little portion, little sharp edge, if you will, right, somewhere, you can always go back and clean that up after you have it removed from the center of the ornament. My voice is all froggy this morning. So yeah, I recommend you play with the adhesive sheet. But truthfully, if I were going to do this one again, I would not use adhesive sheet. I would just stay with my Tombow liquid glue. I'm trying to decide if that's going to stay, so I'm just going to take it with me for now. I might choose to come back and snip that off, but just work your way around the font. Again, if I didn't have the adhesive sheet on here, this would be a little bit better because I wouldn't have that backing. The pieces came out, but for some reason the backing stayed. And I thought, well, that's probably going to be okay. All right, so yeah, I think I'm going to leave the and there, okay, but I'm going to take that little bit between the B and the and off. Okay, and I'm going to peel this off of here. And again, you want to go slow so that none of it tears as you're taking it off. I think we got it. Not quite. There's a piece that just doesn't want to leave. It doesn't want to leave. Why? Okay, now we got it. Of course, now it's stuck all over my fingers. Will the double adhesive work on the felt paper? The adhesive sheet, right? That's what you're talking about. I don't know, and I don't want to say I think it will, but I don't have the felt. Now I have, like I said, I use the velvet, and I know it works on the back of that, and I know it works on, that is really crooked, but we're going to get this mounted first. And it works on all the foils, and I haven't tried it on the vellum. Oh, the velvet paper. Yes, it will work on the back of the vellum paper. Again, you're going to really need to roll that through several times. And I know I'm not saying this. It is a selling point. I'm not saying it to say you need to have it. I'm just saying that I do know, at least in my experience, let's put it that way, because every machine is calibrated differently. I do know that if I run the same die through the new machine, the new die cutting and embossing machine versus the old Big Shot, the same number of times, the same die, the same sandwich, the same weight of paper, etc., I do know that I have better success with the new machine. Now, I believe that that is because the machine is calibrated a little bit tighter, if you will, so there's more pressure going through. But I also recognize that my Big Shot is a well-loved machine that I had for years. It may be the one that I bought when we originally announced the Big Shot coming out. So its calibration has loosened, but that's been my experience. They both will work, but oftentimes you have a lot less weeding, as they call it, to do when you're using the new machine than the old. So these are the wonderful gems, and I'm putting just a couple of these to represent the holly berries because they're a little bit bigger. And I always try to do a triangular positioning of my gems. Oh, yeah. And I know there's a market out there with a lot of stuff on it that is very similar to what we offer. I just don't tend to go to it. I know that our products are quality products, and I know that Stampin' Up! Stands behind their products. So if you were to get something that, you know, was defective or whatever, they absolutely make it right for you. And I think that's 5, and I like to stay in odd numbers. So I think we're going to stay right there. And what did I do on the inside of this card? Absolutely nothing, because that's the one I'm making for you right now. A merry little wish for lots of joy this season. And that, believe it or not, guys, okay, so this stamp set has been in my inventory for a really long time. A wish for everything. That cute little Christmas greeting that I just read to you, a merry little wish for lots of joy this season, comes from a wish for everything. I think, at least I tend to forget about this set, that I have it. And of course it has coordinating dies. So, but yeah, it's a great little set. Absolutely great little set. So make sure you check that one out if you don't have that one, because it has a ton of greetings in it. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. And then I have one more that I'm just going to share with you, featuring one of the celebration products that you can get for free with a $50 product order. So think about that. If you place a $50 product order on my website using this host code, you can pick a free celebration $50 qualifying item, and you will also get the card kit for the Just Cards this month, and you will get entered into my drawing at the end of the month for Happy Mail. It's a pretty nice investment, huh? So there's our Merry and Bright, just trimmed out that greeting. I really like this one, but that font is what sold me on the Baubles. I know that's crazy, but then I had to make sure that I could share some additional fun projects with you. So those are the 3 we made today. But this one, guys, check this one out. Holy cow. So this is the bedazzled paper. And I literally just trimmed that out with the die itself, mounted it on the solid evening evergreen, and then put the soft succulent pine behind it from the pine cone dies, and then repeated the greens for the card base. This also has a double bow in that elegant trim that we use to hang our Christmas tree ornament from. This is gorgeous, but here is my tip for you. Do not use adhesive sheet on the back of this paper. The first time I cut this, I thought, wow, that really cut nice. I was surprised. I thought for sure I was going to have a lot of problems getting all the pieces out. It fell out beautifully. When I designed this card, I tried the adhesive sheets on the back. I put 2 shims in. I did everything I could. I could not get it to cut through both layers. And that was with the new machine. So my recommendation is on this one, just die cut the bedazzling paper and use your Tombow liquid glue to adhere it. And then I added some of the gold gilded gems just as little accents. But I love this card. So there's 4. This one I'm just sharing with you because I knew I wouldn't have time to make all 4 today. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love when you come and hang out with me and we get a little bit of time to be creative together and chat. And I will look forward to seeing you back here on Sunday night at 8 for Come Stamp Along with me. I have 2 great projects planned for you that night as well. Plus it's my birthday. So we might have a surprise or 2. I don't know. We have to see. We have to see how the weekend goes. But thanks again, guys. Don't forget, like, share, love, and comment on the video, and you will get the projects that I made today if you are the lucky winner from the drawing. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Sunday night at 8. Take care. Bye.